Have you guys heard about hydrogen cars? According to the annual Global Electric Vehicle Outlook, sales of battery electric vehicles, or BEVs, are increasing across Europe. Nevertheless, despite their growing popularity, lithium, nickel, and cobalt shortages could endanger the supply of batteries. Is it, therefore, time to concentrate on hydrogen-based energy? Asia is betting on hydrogen, in contrast to Europe, which has only a few hydrogen vehicles for sale and only 228 filling stations. Welcome back to an amazing video of Cartastic. If you're familiar with Elon Musk, you'll be aware of his past distaste for hydrogen-powered cars. Instead of using the term fuel cells, he preferred to refer to hydrogen cells as fool cells. At one point, he described the idea of using hydrogen-powered cells as mind-bogglingly foolish. According to what he acknowledged earlier this year on Twitter, his hatred would not last forever, and he had been mistaken the entire time. The tweet appeared to be like this: "Really excited to announce we're switching Tesla from batteries to hydrogen by 2024. Watch this space for the amazing Model H. More range, fast refueling, and drinking water out and tap as you drive. I was wrong about fuel cells. They're actually amazing. Reserve yours with Dogecoin." His tweet undoubtedly sparked thousands of responses from his followers who knew him well from his harsh criticism toward fuel cells, which, as you've noticed from his tweet, are still being referred to as fool cells. You should be aware that hydrogen cells offer untapped potential for use in the automotive sector. Elon Musk may have been the first to draw attention to the fact that an electric automobile can move, but this was not a discovery that he made alone. Between 1890 and 1891, William Morrison of Des Moines, Iowa, is credited with producing the country's first electric vehicle. It was a station wagon with a capacity for 6 passengers and a top speed of 23 kilometers per hour. The hydrogen car lacks any distinctive features. Although Elon is not the first, he was received all the media attention. It is not anticipated that Elon Musk will be the first to create a hydrogen-powered machine. A better alternative to the current electric vehicles, which Elon Musk has already dominated with Tesla, hydrogen offers the industry, which is looking for ways to transition away from using fossil fuels to power cars. If you think this is a joke, consider this. By 2030, experts believe that hydrogen-powered vehicles will outnumber electric vehicles as the most frequently driven vehicles on the road. Elon Musk promised to enter the fuel cell industry, and given his track record in similar fields, we could almost smell that coming. Additionally, several businesses have begun to gain ground in the United States using these hydrogen-powered cars. Toyota, for example, has already entered this field and has produced a few hydrogen-powered cars that are currently on American roads. This just serves to show that Tesla is not a forerunner in the fuel cell sector. It's also true that Toyota wasn't the first company to enter the hydrogen market. The General Motors Electrovan, which used a hydrogen fuel cell as its principal source of propulsion in 1966, was widely recognized as the first automobile to do so. Since then, a number of other auto manufacturers have tried unsuccessfully to use this technology. In 2013, Hyundai debuted the iX35 FCEV, a pioneering hydrogen cell fuel electric car. After Honda debuted on the market in 2017, Toyota followed suit in 2015 with the Mirai. All of these cars have been demonstrated to work, but when compared to other cars, they lack the necessary power, which is where this man comes in. After identifying market demand, Elon enters the picture. He researches what other people have found and then comes up with a solution in his own special way. However, one issue is essential and deserves a clearer response. Why does Tesla consider fuel cells a better business venture for their already highly effective and superior electric vehicles? There are countless explanations, but this one is particularly intriguing. Hydrogen that is present in the universe. Atomically speaking, it is the only element that makes up the majority of everything in the universe, although even that isn't half. Researchers have found that a hydrogen atom may hold a significant amount of energy that can be used to generate power. This discovery brought a lot of scientists to the pen, and the best location on Earth for easily finding hydrogen in large quantities. However, hydrogen is not as solitary an element as you may believe. It combines with nearby elements with a strong affinity to create compounds. You've reached halfway through this video. Let me remind you of something. Just smash the subscribe, like, and bell icons. Therefore, wherever hydrogen is discovered, it exists as a compound and not as a single element. And the pen, which includes hydrogen, is the greatest place to find it. By 2030, the most potent energy to fuel the world's automobile will be produced from rich amounts of hydrogen coupled with carbon and oxygen from this plentiful agricultural waste. However, Elon Musk's decision to explore fuel cells was not only motivated by this. Experts will tell you that the currently dominant electric vehicle will soon face competition from hydrogen-powered vehicles. According to predictions, the battle will be fierce enough for Tesla to ultimately come out on top. But what does this contest involve specifically? The fundamental issue, in this case, is the well-known drawbacks of electric automobiles. The first is the burden that each EV driver must bear while waiting for their car to recharge. A typical Tesla charges completely in around an hour or longer. For a species that has the least medical experience, that seems like an eternity. It would be wise for them to choose an equally environmentally friendly alternative that would reduce the duration to a manageable 5 minutes, and the fuel cell provides just that. A fuel cell can be refueled in the same manner as conventional vehicles in no more than 5 minutes, but the benefits in terms of mileage are impressive. By 2024, Tesla will benefit from this switch to hydrogen fuel cells vehicles as they prepare to adopt this new, game-changing technology in the automotive sector. Given how successful this endeavor might be, they might even think about rebranding their business as Tesla. You might be curious to learn how a fuel cell operates now that we have discussed its enormous possibilities. Here are all the specifics. First, discussing a fuel cell is impossible without mentioning electric vehicles. The primary difference between a hydrogen-powered cell and an electric car is that in a hydrogen-powered cell, hydrogen serves as the primary fuel to initiate the generation of electricity. An electric vehicle with a battery similar to that of a fuel cell automobile uses hydrogen fuel cells to generate electricity instead. Pure hydrogen is being fed into a fuel stack. When oxygen is pushed through hydrogen, electricity is produced, and the output is water vapor. It would be important to note that hydrogen-fueled cars don't require any type of charging to produce electricity, which is good news for most of you. However, before we talk about that, it is important to note that the procedure for dealing with the anodes and cathodes will do more justice to the geeks who love to hear about the hard stuff. Instead, they generate electricity as long as hydrogen is available, which, as we've seen, happens quite quickly. Let's now examine the internal mechanisms of the fuel cells. The cathode of this cell receives air, while the anode, or the positive side, receives hydrogen. The primary component is the anode, which receives a catalyst that splits hydrogen molecules into protons and electrons, which are then sent to the cathode. An electric flow happens as the electrons go via the external circuit. In contrast, protons travel through the electrode to the cathode, where they mix with oxygen and extra electrons to create heat and water vapor. The procedure appears to be straightforward and uncomplicated, and it's a puzzle why hydrogen fuel wasn't used sooner, but history has the answer, at least until recently. The biggest problem has been the price of purchasing hydrogen. The price of hydrogen-fueled cars inevitably increases when the cost of production is very high, which is not what Tesla would like for their customers. However, researchers are now figuring out the most affordable method of creating hydrogen, so fuel-powered cars should be more affordable. Additionally, the price of hydrogen fuel will drop from its current 17 cents per gallon, which is equivalent to 8.5 cents per gallon of gasoline for the same distance. However, there is still a long way to go until the development of a fuel-powered automobile is established. The only hydrogen gas stations that are currently open in the United States are in California. Another major issue with the use of these potent cells is technology, which makes moving them more cost-effective and portable than storing them. However, considering work needs to be done before the industry can declare success with the use of hydrogen-powered cells. So, do you want a hydrogen gas vehicle? Do you believe that they are going to change the world? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to click the subscribe, like, and bell icons. Refer to other videos on our channel to get more information.